Edward here from the infamous crypto viewing group. Before I get started with, I don't know what session this is. I think this is session number 6, I think, from the Vimana project. First and foremost, get this plug in here for the crypto viewing team, me and my buddies, Daz Smith, Dick Allgaier, and I'll leave the link below for our Patreon group where we do a lot of remote viewing. We put up a lot of content. Every week we're putting up content of all kinds, woo-woo stuff. We just, I'll put a link to it. We just published for free on YouTube the Hellier project we did early this year. I think the first part of the year, I think it was in January. And Daz set that target up, and then we did a couple sessions on it. And we just published it for free on the YouTube. It was on the Patreon, but we just published it for free. I'll have the link. I'll put the link in the thing below. But it was really cool. That was a really cool project. So I want to get that out of the way here. A little plug for my buddies. All right, now on to the Vimana project. Again, this was tasked a couple of months back. I sent Dustin a text. I said, I'm ready. I need to go on vacation. You got something? He said, yep. And this is what it was. It was, the tasking was for me to look at and describe the Subha Vimana, these ancient ships, flying craft that were talked about in the Sanskrit epic, the Mahabharata, where they have an account of a big battle in the sky between Krishna and King Salva in their flying machines. Now, exactly what took place, we'll see as far as what my sessions are revealing. Was it this epic battle? I'm starting to wonder if these stories of these epic battles were really stories that were designed to share that literature around to the neighboring empires, to scare them away from wanting to invade India, because India had these incredible war machines flying around in the sky. I'm wondering if there was a little bit of fake news in there, but I don't know. Well, here's what I am feeling as far as my sessions go. Where I left off last time, let me get that session before we jump into what came after. This was the last session I went over. This is the short versions here. The long versions are going to be on my Patreon, as well as the full videos of this. I've videotaped all of the sessions. All of the sessions are up on my Patreon site. These are not crypto viewing. This was a non-crypto viewing project, but they'll be on mine. So where we left off last time was, I wanted to go back. This was my anchor in the entire project, was this individual here who felt different. They had different DNA. They were a different species. They even felt like they came from somewhere else, and that's what I was going into and where we left off last time. That how did this person do this? They were like a time traveler, moving back and forth between worlds and planets. How did they do this? And I felt that they were being assisted. I wanted to look further into that. And this species here, which came through as the time managers, a species that I feel very connected to myself. I feel I know them and they know me. This was the idea here as far as this individual, who I believe that individual was the individual that was called Krishna. And here they have a home planet, and this is Earth. And how did they get here? That's where we left off. Okay, so that was session number 6. I'm blazing through here with the short versions here. Oh no, that was session 5. This is session number 6. So I wanted to go back to that person, and boom, I'm in a flying craft right here. This is a rendering of what a Vimana may have looked like per some descriptions from people, and this is where I am here, right here. This is the person. This is the individual. Who is this person? An engineer. And I got this idea, like they were getting a picture taken next to this flying mechanical device, this technology, and I had a feeling that it kicked off some kind of a space race. And per the story, that's kind of what this is about. This story is really an ancient space race where they're building machines and trying to outdo each other. It really is the story of the Vimana per the Sanskrit translation, because who knows what the original. I'm sure the original story is different than the modern translation. It's probably quite a bit different. But here I am. There's a ship, and it's blowing people's minds. What's going on here? And how this stuff works, the mechanics, some kind of exotic technology. How did this one get here? And these are the questions I'm asking. And I got this phrase coming to my mind. It was supposed to happen. There's some type of I'll use destiny as a kind of a generic term for why this individual came to this planet here. Something inside of the fabric of time, finding the place to come through in time, and this is really interesting. I'm going to talk more about that on the Patreon. Like a time dial. This is a different type of time, like a time delay, some fluctuation in time, like a magnetic warp, something bending, some bending time. Move into what is being warped and described, like a subspace, some type of flux mechanism. I don't even know what that means being used. There are more of them operating these mechanisms. There's more of them on the other side of wherever they came from. Like a dial tuning in, it feels rather effortless to do this. And this was the idea that the individual who I strongly feel was Krishna, who had come here, was here, and that the rest of his, the ones who are like him are over here. And they communicated. I needed to take a break from that. After that, I came back, I don't know, maybe an hour or so later. I wanted to look at this idea, bringing of different thought patterns, meaning when this one came here from over there, this idea came through in the previous session of bringing different thought patterns. Going through my process here, boom, I'm back on this flying device. And I get this idea that they're in communication. So if this is Krishna here, this is Krishna here, and he is in communication with his, with those like him, wherever they are. These two are in communication. What are they talking about? What are they saying? What other topics are they talking about? Languages and codes and worries and concerns. They're like getting feedback, getting signs of worry, feelings of worry. Communicating back and forth. This feels very long distance, as in from planet to planet. Picking up signal, communicating, distant communication. This feels like some kind of alien speak is what I was trying to decipher here. That they were speaking in some alien language here. Distant worlds. Feeling there was a vulnerability feeling. And they were communicating it. These types of concerns. This is what I was feeling. That in this communication over here, if this is Krishna, was communicating some level of vulnerability and concerns being here. Let's see. Picking something up from the outer limits. A partnership forged there and here. There and here? Question mark. Got that. Felt that very strongly. This feels like a colonization, as in coming here, colonizing. They want to come here? I question. They want to come here? And that's the feeling. There are benefits to this partnership. They can or are bringing something or offering something. That's very strongly felt that. Solutions, these feel like helpers. They want to help. They're offering help. And why? Why would they do that? I felt a strong sense of community. They want to offer that to us. They're reaching out. And why would they not? And why would we not accept? This is the feeling. This is from the human perspective. Why not accept their assistance? Isn't that what the Krishna stories are all about? They're advanced much more than us. I don't get a sense that they're bad. They feel very advanced and they want to help. And I got this AOL of the analytical overlay here of Egypt. Took a break. All right, that's that session. Intense feelings. I'm going over this rather quickly. All right, I took a break and I came back. I don't know, maybe the next day. I think it was the next day. This was my cue here, or my movement. What is the meaning of this event? This is the event meaning, well, everything that took place here. Go through my process. I'm gonna go into what I'm doing here a little later. Just not yet. I'm building a system, or developing a system. Boom! I'm right into the craft here. I'm right into the craft. High energy, but it's very risky to do this. Success is unknown to them. Could be a one-way ticket. This is the travel arrangement here. Coming here. This feels very science fiction like a movie's made about this. An arrival. Let me just shrink this up. And this was the idea here. Here are these people. Here's this thing shows up. You know, this thing appears long ago, and people are looking at it, and their minds are blown. Distant travel, seeding something. They're seeding something. These here. That's very curious to me. That's very interesting to me. See, move to what was seeded and described: planting and growing, development, flourishing, granting. The idea of how to produce. These are like seeding ideas of civilization, but this was the main word right here: granting. Granting stuck out to me like a sore thumb. Granting as in giving. I had to go into this is a little more of a stage 5 here in controlled remote viewing, is to interrogate the meaning of a perception. And so I wanted to go, what does that mean? Granting as in giving, a grant, handing over something, giving something. An earned gifting. This was very important. An investment. You are investing in the growth and development of someone or peoples. When you get a grant, even to this day, when you get a grant, it is bestowed upon you because someone is investing in you. It's because of something that you've done or you're claiming to have done, and the grantee or the grantor invests in you in your development, and that was the meaning here. So was if that individual is Krishna, coming over here from a distant planet, and they are seeding the planet. This was the feeling, was that they felt strong enough in the potential here to invest in the peoples of planet Earth. We're investing in the growth and development of someone or peoples, participating in their development. There's the participation. Why else would a character, any of these characters, Krishna or Christ and Buddha, all of them, when you strip down the stories down to their essence, the stories are really about the investment into the growth of human potential, from beyond human perception, or 5 sense perception, not all beyond 5 sense perception of humans. Stage 4, the grant was authorized because of a recognized potential. This was a very, very strong, very important idea. The grant was authorized because of a recognized potential. The idea around this aspect is that the grant was provided due to a recognition of the participants' potential. That would be the peoples of Earth, the humans of Earth. And I had an AI of, wow, that was very powerful. This was a very powerful idea in my mind. That was my AI, you know. And why would that be my AI? Because the idea of an advanced civilization coming to a planet like Earth, habitated with a still relatively primitive human, and to have these advanced individuals recognize the potential of the human species and want to invest in it, in that potential. That's an awesome idea. That's an awesome idea, because in my view, participating as a human, working beyond my 5 senses, I have found in my work, in sensory deprivation, deep meditation, in remote viewing, that the potential of the consciousness that exists inside of a human is infinite. All right, let's go on. That's for another video. Okay, here's another AI. It's emotional to me. It felt emotional to me. It felt emotional because you look at humans, and we focus on the badness of humans, or there appears to be an effort to focus on the flawed nature and the weaknesses of humans, and that's what gets publicized the most. But that's what most people are shown. But when you take away that cover story that is being presented to humans, and in my opinion, to keep people from accessing their true nature, that's my conspiracy theory. You see the incredible advancements, the incredible abilities that humans have, the incredible capacity for creative expression, for ingenuity, for survival. Humans are a fascinating, brilliant, genius species. We just don't really get to see that very often, because there's another story is continually being pulled over everyone's mind, that and we're only shown the worst in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases. All right. Like a gift was brought, but not given without full recognition of the gifts being put to use. That was very important. They're going to provide something, but it's going to have to be put to good use. And if you don't, in that case, the humans are, they're dealing with the gods. That's big. That's a big deal. Meaning it was only provided because the potential was recognized. And again, I emphasize this, the importance of the recognition of the peoples of Earth and their potential by those not of Earth. Like, these people were selected, chosen. This is a big deal. This is not a small grant. It was a big deal, a very big deal. This would make another great target, another great project right there. Unless I go into it more, I can't remember. This is like changing the structure of everything that is available at that time. Inputting a substance that mutates and grows into vast potentials. That is, I went into it here already. That is the grant, that is the gift. Inputting a substance that mutates and grows into vast potentials. So I did another movement here. I'm all in. I'm all lit up. My neurons are all fired up here. Move inside the grant or the gift and describe its properties, light and sound frequencies, programs, codes, warnings, data, information database. It was a big download. Energy, electricity, conduits, building, foundations, structures, history, question mark? Like history was downloaded too, like a big download. Species, population, like here they are and they're saying, take this, take this. Oh, and this was really interesting. I don't know if there's any accounts of this in the Vedic texts, and so my people who are watching this who are knowledgeable of the ancient texts, let me know if there's any stories even remotely like this, because what I was perceiving was like a holographic display coming in, and people were observing this, and some of them couldn't even handle it. They were passing out, and they were doing all these things. Presentation, visitation, primary, and the idea of primate. These primitive humans. Effect on the brain, growth, mutation, simulation. That's an interesting word, simulation. Telepathic communication. This idea of the enlightened ones, masters and higher ones. Setting off a chain reaction in the DNA, question mark. Mutation, some mutilation, some deaths, fire, storms, revelations, and burning bushes. And that was it. I had to break. I had to take a break. I had done my job. My job was done for this round. I did what I had to do. Setting off a chain reaction in the DNA. Is that the gift? Is that the grant? Is the grant setting off a chain reaction in the DNA by the higher ones? Here? Is that the story they're talking about? All right, this is it for this. I'll probably have one more video. I got 2 more sessions, and I'll probably I'll do it like this again. I'll have one more video up. The long version of this will be on Patreon, along with the full sessions will be available for those who want to watch the actual remote viewing, which for me it's fascinating to watch. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. One more shout out to my buddies here at the CryptoViewing group. Check those guys out, and many more to come.